uses quality parts and doesn't take shortcuts like some other companies. They take pride in getting the job done right and in a timely manner. They specialize in insurance claims, and they strive to get your vehicle back to you as soon as possible. So the next time you hear this, remember, it's your choice. And the choice is clear. Lyle's Collision Service.
All right, 6 minutes after 10 o'clock. Hey, you know who's on the phone is Mark Shaw. Mark has been getting calls when he's not here. And so hopefully if you're listening right now and you had a question for Mark, you will call in. Mark is live. He's not in the studio, but he is live on the phone with us. Mark is from Dr. Juan Yordan's office down in the Villages. They can help you with your weight if you need to lose some. They can help you with your diabetes if you'd like to try some of these ideas of reversing it. You've heard on the news you can, and they know how. So you might want to go down to Dr. Yordan's office in the Villages. You might have heard about ways to revitalize your knees or your other joints through something called platelet-rich plasma. All of those things are and others are part of the practice of Dr. Yordan down in the Villages. Mark Shaw helps us understand how it all works and how we can benefit from all of that. And he is live. So if you have a question, the number is 622-9622. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Larry. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I think the one question we get most of all is, can it help with my my hips? So if somebody has a broken hip, I think that question has come to me more than the others. Is that possible?
Okay, so the answer, yes, it absolutely helps with hips. Now, I have a patient actually right now who's an avid golfer and has had hip problems. Now, he didn't actually fall and break his hip, but for the past 10 years, he's been dealing with a bad hip that he limps everywhere that he goes. And so we have treated him with PRP in his hip, and he has now come back to us and is doing a preventative treatment on both of his knees. He said, my knees also getting a little sore. I want to go ahead and treat those. And so that's absolutely, hips are phenomenal. Hips, shoulders, SI joints, which are the sacred, right there, the two dimples in your lower back. That's where there's a joint there. Knees, elbows, it's fantastic. Tennis elbow and torn rotator cuffs and things of that nature. All of these things are in the realm and the spectrum of what it is that we treat and that we heal with patients that used to have to go to surgery. Okay. I mean, used to be, it would have to be a surgery.
And that's what I want to ask you about. At what point in time does a person say, rather than surgery, I want to go have this alternative kind of a treatment? And I'm guessing if you've had hip replacement surgery, there's kind of nothing you can do. Am I right about that? You've already crossed that line?
That's correct. Okay. You've crossed that bridge. So yeah. It's very similar to if you've ever been to your dentist and your dentist says, listen, at all costs, keep your own teeth, and keep your own parts. I'm going to tell you the same thing. I would exhaust all resources, all of everything, before I would have a titanium knee or a hip, for that matter. And that's just me. I would try to make it so that that's my first and foremost thought process is, okay, if I'm going to do all of this, and let me just try this and see this, because these surgeries are very invasive, and you've got recovery time. There is no surgery that's not a minor thing. I mean, you're going to anesthetize and put you under anesthesia, which has its dangers and complications, and as well as then a long process of learning how to walk again and going through rehabilitation and all of those things that I would prefer if I didn't have to.
Right.
Okay. Meaning I can go get a shot, an injection, and it fix it within 4 to 6 weeks, it has now fixed that so that
Wow.
I don't have to go through that procedure. Well,
Right.
I mean, I'm going to try that every time.
Does the fact that the hip is a larger area than, let's say, the knuckle in the finger, does that mean anything as far as the recovery time, the healing time?
No. There's all different factors that determine that, and everyone is different, and that's why we tell the patients it's 4 to 6 weeks. We've seen as short as 2 weeks, and in Patsy's case, there at the radio station, within the first 2 weeks, she was able to step up onto curbs and was like, "My gosh, this is phenomenal! It's not hurting," and everything else. So we've seen results from that, and we've seen it take up to 6 weeks. But it does not. It depends upon the patient's eating, how much water they drink. Obviously, we don't walk on our hands. Okay, so if I'm treating an elbow or a shoulder, it's not getting the impact and the damage that, say, a knee or a hip is, because you're getting up and you're walking every single day. Where I can immobilize an elbow or a shoulder and put it in a sling to where it doesn't move and it doesn't obviously that's going to heal faster.
So would Dr. Yordan talk to another, like, let's say I'm sitting with the doctor and he says, you're going to need a hip replacement. And I said, well, I heard Mark talking about this on WOCA. Let me call them. And and maybe the doctor would say, yeah, that's fine. You'd get another opinion. But I don't know enough to have the conversation. Is it possible that you or Dr. Yordan could have a dialogue with my doctor?
Yeah, absolutely. That happens. That happens more than you think, Larry. I mean, doctors are very, very accustomed to I'd like a second opinion, and especially in something as major as a $25,000 to $30,000 knee replacement surgery, which is a very large surgery. So there are plenty of doctors who are used to that and exploring other options, and many surgeons continue to do PRP even today. I mean, even with surgeries. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm wondering, as the word spreads about what you do with the PRP, do you find other doctors who say to their patients, there is another procedure, let me send you to Dr. Yordan? Does that happen, where a doctor just simply knows in advance?
Well, no, because doctors are going to 9 out of 10 times, your doctor is going to explain unless you question it. Your doctor is going to explain to you what is covered underneath your insurance. Okay, because that's what the doctor is going to treat.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What he's going to get paid, and what is your insurance and what your coverage is going to be. So most patients get educated as to the doctor's explaining and educating them as to what their insurance covers. I mean, if they have one drug that is for high blood pressure and it's your insurance covers it and it's covered, they're not going to prescribe a different named drug that's the exact same thing that you'd have to pay $125 a day to take that medication. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense, yeah.
So it's the same thing with this. If you come into your doctor's office and you have this insurance coverage or that, well, knee replacements are covered, cortisone injections, and different types of treatment for that knee, let's say. He's not going to go and prescribe, here's this other one that's not covered by your insurance. Right.
So I know you've done this before for our listeners, but I think there might be somebody listening right now that really needs to hear this. So, in other words, insurance doesn't cover the platelet-rich plasma procedure. And you've explained this before. Could you please explain it again? How does it get paid for then?
Okay. So, one, it does not cover that because insurance it's not a surgical procedure. It's not a drug. It's not, insurance companies tend to cover very high stuff. Like, for example, a $30,000 knee surgery. Okay, well, that's something that they're working with. With PRP, we are members of the Foundation for Wellness Professionals, and we also have the operation of Healthcare Payment Solutions and ClearGauge. Okay, and that's the software that runs what it is that we do. Every single one of our patients that comes into our practice, it does not matter if you are on a fixed income, if you're retired, if you are on pensions, disabilities, whatever it may be, your fixed income. Our responsibility is to take that and to put it into whatever procedure that you're a candidate for. Okay, Larry, let's say you came into the office. I don't care if it's $5,000 or if it's $500. I have no idea until we treat you. Your first visit is completely free until we determine what is wrong, okay?
That's
and
really
if we
good to
can
know.
fix it. Okay? Once that happens, then if it's, like I said, from 500 to 5,000, whatever the procedure is that you need, you tell me what your economic budget is, Larry. You tell me, okay, I can afford to pay $50 a week, $100 a month, whatever it is, Larry, because I have no idea what your economics are.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is through our software and through Healthcare Payment Solutions, ClearGauge, and our foundation, they come in and they pay for that procedure up front, and then you pay that foundation back interest-free, okay? No interest charged to you whatsoever, okay? Meaning if your bill was $1,000 and you said I could make 10 payments of $100, then it'd be 10 months. Or I can make 20 payments of $50, then it would be 20 months. Does that make sense?
That makes
There's no interest.
It makes a lot of sense. Of course,
Okay.
yes.
So there's no interest charged to that, but we don't know what's economically affordable for you. And with that being said, you can pay back the foundation, ClearGauge, Healthcare Payment Solutions, and it pays back to them at whatever your economic budget is, and you get to get the procedure that you want. So it's acting as somewhat, of an insurance or
Right.
anything else, because
Right.
you paying for an insurance premium or this,
Thank
that,
you.
and the other. But
Yeah, thank you for explaining that. I needed. I'm glad you said that. Somebody needed to hear you say that. But I wanted to kind of I have another thought of my own this time.
Okay.
Believe it or not. So when the procedure takes hold, let's fast forward to the future. It's been 6
Sure.
weeks and everything's working fine. Two questions. Does it? Let's use the knee, for example. Are my knees now like they were when I was 16? Are they like when I was 10 years ago, when I was 50? And how long will it last before it might fall apart again? And do I have to keep getting injections for the rest of my life?
Okay. One, is it 16 or is it 50? Let's just answer them one at a time. Are my knees back to where I was 16 or when I was 50? Well, the answer is I don't know. I don't know how good your knees were at 50. What we are seeing is from pain reduction, range and mobility, and what is being experienced by our patients is about 85%. Okay. So it can regenerate that joint anywhere from 85 to 90% of being, in pristine condition. Okay?
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, if you can imagine, if, you've been told, oh, I'm bone on my knee, or I'm this, or I'm that. 85%, take whatever pain, take whatever discomfort or lack of range of mobility, and decrease that by 85 or 90%, okay? And that's what you're looking at with this. Now, the next question was, do I have to keep coming and getting shots?
Right.
Absolutely not. Once we've treated you, okay, this is now yours. Larry, it took you some 50 years to tear up that knee.
Right.
All right? Unless it's an acute actual trauma, the degeneration of that joint took 50 years. Now, I might treat you again if I'm still around when you're 120, okay? But for all intents and purposes, no. Once we've treated you, unless you have another acute injury,
that's really amazing.
You go out there and you start running, 10K marathons and doing the Ironman and that kind of stuff, well, okay, you might wear it out faster than others. But your normal day-to-day activities, walking around, playing golf, doing things of normal activity. Yeah, I'm not gonna ever have to treat you again.
Mark, I used to think that the best part of this conversation was that I could tell people that you're right down the road, you're in the Villages. Now,
Yes, sir.
that's still a good part. But I think the best part is that we have two people right here that you're treating. Both of them are getting knee treatments, and they can say their own. The listeners know Joe because Joe's an on-air personality as well as the owner of the station, so they know him. They know that he's not going to pull one over on them. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what I think that's just as strong of a thing to mention to the listeners as the fact that you're right down in the Villages.
Well, that's what we're trying to accomplish, and why we were so eager to take Joe and Patsy on as patients, because there's nothing like a on live person and a testimonial saying, "Listen, I thought for years that I just have to deal with this," or I'm just getting older, or I'm just having this. And it becomes a normal way of life for people to go through that, or I'm just going to have a knee replacement surgery. No, you don't. Investigate this and look into it. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Look into the actual investigation of it. Does not cost you a thing.
And age is not a factor, because sometimes people say, well, I'm not going to have this done because I'm too old.
That's right. Whereas age is a factor when it comes into surgery and anesthesia and things of that nature. It's not with this. This is basic biology, and it is absolutely 100% not determined by age. And that was an odd one for me. Being in the Villages, I had that question a lot. I get patients who would come to me and, everything I've heard about it's not going to work because I'm 86. Right. And I'm like, really? Because you're 86. So what if you were 79? Would it work for you then? Oh, well, maybe if I was 79. and it's literally, there is no, that's not the determining factors on whether it's effective for you or not. And that's what we determine on that free consult is, we look at medically and the medical facts, not medical theory, medical fact. Okay, and we go through these steps and then tell you, yeah, this is going to work for you. You're going to get good results, or this is not the right procedure for you. Sorry.
Yeah. Mark Shaw is our guest. He is down at Dr. Yordan's office in the Villages, and we're going to give you the phone number so you can call and find out more. We've kind of been focusing, and we've done this a few times, we've been focusing today on the platelet-rich plasma treatments, which will help out with many joints. But down at Dr. Yordan's office, he can also help you with weight loss, a reasonable program, a realistic program, and the results. Again, ask somebody who's gone through the program, and you'll see that it works. There's also the diabetes program that you have to help reverse diabetes. Are they different?
Larry, before you say reverse diabetes, we're not reversing. In essence, we get diabetes under control, and I don't want to be on air and saying that we can reverse or cure diabetes. Okay, that's not what we're saying. What I am saying is I've taken patients from an A1C of 11, which means that their diabetes is out of control. Okay, and we have put them on our program which is a diet program, and now their diabetes is at a 6.1. Okay, so their A1C dropped from 11 to 6.1. That means that person still has diabetes, okay, but their diabetes is now under control from the intake of their food and how they operate. It's not having to be done with synthetic medications and insulins and different things like that docs have to prescribe them. And Dr. Yordan can then start reducing the amount of medications that they take.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not curing it or reversing it.
Well, I apologize for misunderstanding.
That's okay.
But you know what it was, and I think a lot of people probably thought the same thing. If I don't need to take my medication anymore, it sounds like it's been cured, but I appreciate you explaining it better.
Right, and what we're teaching and helping people to do is, which is the healthier way, and you will live longer, is by saying, okay, I'm going to take this, and now instead of taking this medication, and then when I go to the doctor, they have to increase those medications every single time just to keep me going.
Okay.
I'm now controlling this from my food and the intake of what I'm, and have been taught through our diabetes weight loss program on how to actually do this properly.
Oh, okay.
It's far less expensive for the patient, okay, meaning medications and purchase-wise, than it is living with, hey, I'm just going to regulate myself with medications and go eat whatever it is that, you know.
Well, my
Krispy Kreme
apologies
donuts
for misunderstanding.
No.
Does that apply to both the type 1 and type 2, or just type 2?
Type 2 predominantly is where we've seen the biggest effects, but, no, I've dealt with patients with type 1 as well.
Wow.
And seen fantastic, but, it's dependent upon your willingness. It's not a miracle science or miracle anything that we're doing. It's dependent on your willingness to make a lifestyle change. That's what our weight loss program is. If you have a willingness to make a lifestyle change, then you will be wildly successful at our practice.
And I would imagine that if you have knee problems or hip problems or anything that weight-bearing joints might be a problem, and you lose weight, I'm guessing that just it helps. It's a win-win.
Well, it's certainly not going to hurt, Larry. That's the truth. It does not hurt to lose the weight. Now, what I would tell you is that more importantly than that, I mean, hands down, I could go out on the street and ask what's the biggest killer in the United States, and they'd say, well, it's heart attacks. It's a spoon and a fork and a knife. It's what we eat, and it's the out of shape and how bad we are. And that they would be right. That is the number one killer in the United States, and it's just amazing that we will put our bodies and things through that. What I would tell you is, let's say it takes some stress off of your knees, but look at your circulatory system. Look at how hard your heart has to pump to get blood through there, and all the fat cells and everything else. Losing weight, reduces stroke, heart attack, risks of all of these things taking place are now dramatically reduced throughout your life. That's what this program actually does. We've seen people's blood work change, and people on, high blood pressure medication being reduced dramatically, cholesterol medication. Dr. Yordan even taking some patients off of cholesterol medication because their numbers are fantastic.
Wow.
It's a very excellent program, but you got to be willing to make a lifestyle change.
Mark, it's always amazing listening to what you guys do down there. We're just about 20 seconds away. Give us a phone number we can call you.
Okay, so you will speak to a young lady named April, possibly Desiree, but whoever at the front desk answers the telephone, they'll happily get you scheduled in with your free consultation to come see us at Dr. Yordan's office, 352-633-0473.
All right. Mark Shaw, thank you so much. Give our regards. Say hello to everybody down there. And thank you so much.
Will do. Thank you, Larry.
All right.
Take care.
We'll be right back.
Climate Accord.
Yesterday, we were getting indications that the president was going to announce that the U.S. was pulling out of the climate deal completely, and then we started to get indications, because he had not yet made a final decision, that maybe he would do a sort of a piecemeal approach to it, withdraw from certain parts of UN conventions while staying in the overall framework.
Fox's John Roberts. Meanwhile, many world leaders are restating their commitment.
On Twitter, EU President Donald Tusk sending a message to @RealDonaldTrump saying, please don't change the climate for the worse.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. First-time jobless claims last week rose to 248,000. Meanwhile, a survey from payroll processor ADP finds that private businesses added 253,000 jobs in May as sign employers expect the economy to keep growing. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Napa know-how. When you buy AC Pro refrigerant at Napa for $33.99, it comes with a pressure gauge, quick connect hose, and refrigerant to make just about any car cool again. Old cars, new cars, brown cars, even cars with hand crank windows. If it has 4 wheels and an air conditioner, AC Pro refrigerant for $33.99 can make your car cool. Literally. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 6/30/17.
There are 2 things every parent wants when their child goes to college: for their child to do well and a way to afford it. Now, with Discover Student Loans, parents can have the best of both worlds. Not only do our loans cover up to 100% of school-certified costs with zero fees, but we'll give them a cash reward for each new student loan if they earn at least a 3.0 GPA or equivalent. That means every A in history or B in math could help them earn a cash reward for good grades. Just one of the many ways we treat you like you'd treat you. Apply now in 15 minutes or less at discoverstudentloans.com. Limitations apply.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sun will mix with clouds and we'll have a thunderstorm in the afternoon, but there'll be multiple near the coast. High of 89 to 92, and any shower thunderstorm will start to fizzle out tonight. It'll be cloudy and humid otherwise with lows of 71 to 74. Tomorrow, a thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon, a high of 82 to 84. Another heavy afternoon thunderstorm for Saturday with a high of 80 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Here is your 30-second news brief. Health officials have confirmed a dozen cases of H3N2 canine influenza at 2 dog shows in Florida. There is no evidence the virus infects people. The sales tax-free weekend for hurricane supplies begins at midnight tonight. The complete list of eligible purchases is on the WOCA Facebook page. 2 people were shot in a home invasion last night at a mobile home in Bellevue, and a mother and her child escaped injury yesterday when a tree fell on the hood of their car. And that is your news brief from the source.
Is the internet driving business to your business? Hi, I'm Michael Warren with Brick City Interactive. At Brick City, we've been putting the web to work for businesses since 1998. We want to help you too, whether you're a real estate office, law office, medical office, manufacturer, retailer, a church, even a radio station like WOCA. We love to help businesses grow, and we have the knowledge and experience to make it happen. We offer professional, affordable web design, mobile responsive websites, search engine optimization, social media marketing, web video and promotions, online advertising, and more. Whether it's time for a redesign or whether you want to kickstart your existing website, let us help. Mention WOCA and we'll give you a free, no-obligation search engine optimization report for your website. This free report will give you practical steps to increase your search ranking. It's our gift to you from Brick City Interactive. Call us today at 352-351-1131 or visit us online at brickcity.com.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around. Death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All of the reasons to celebrate the first day of June. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Can we bring it back, Doctor?
Yes, but we have to keep it covered, Igor.
Understood, Doctor.
And be sure to keep living roots in it throughout the year with diverse plants and rotations. And remember, do not disturb it.
Are you mad, Doctor?
No, Just a little upset. I don't like to see soil treated like dirt.
Learn more about the basics and benefits of soil health. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today.
It's a new month and another reason to celebrate one of the world's oldest fruits, known as the olive. And every year on June 1st, America celebrates National Olive Day. The olive is part of the traditional mese tapas culinary experience that brings families and friends around the table to share time together rather than in a kitchen. The olive branch is a symbol of peace, hope, love, and friendship, and celebrating National Olive Day is a fun way to acknowledge the joy this little fruit provides. Olives are used in many ways. We find them in cocktails and loaves of bread. We eat them whole as snacks, use them as toppings, include them on relish trays, and even use them as a garnish for many foods like tacos